So today we're in for a little bit of a different style of video. I woke up at 4 a.m., got on the road, met up with the Audi Sport Boston guys around 5:15, rolled out about 6:15, headed down to Lime Rock, Connecticut. And the trip was not without issues, but we made it, and this is what it looked like.
Younger music.
Fun fact, you gotta turn the mic on before you start filming. Dan just said life's a beach, but...
Waffles.
Anyway, it's like kind of overcast and rainy. We just drove a lot, and I just overtook a lot of people and kept getting stuck behind more cars. So, no luck. But it's a parking lot full of Audis.
Yeah. What the f?
Now this is an event called Avantoberfest. It's an event that happens pretty much every year. I think this is the 9th year that it's going on. And basically what they do is they cruise from Lime Rock in Connecticut up to Stratton, Vermont to Beer Fest, and there's a chili festival and a bunch of other stuff going on up there. We get to Lime Rock, we show up, there's a bunch of cars there as you guys saw in the previous clip. So this is where it got interesting, and the reason it got interesting is the organizers gathered us all around and said, okay, here's the plan, we're rolling out to Stratton, we're stopping at this gas station, go. They didn't say, okay, we're gonna roll as a group and everybody has to stay in line and this and that, blah, blah, blah. No, they said, roll at your own pace while I'll meet up at the gas station. That's pretty cool if you ask me, because I think a lot of these events are so focused on the event looking good and, you know, everybody staying together as a group, everybody's, you know, park organized. These people can only park there and those people can only park here. It was cool to just hear, you know, go and we'll meet you there. So my one gripe with the whole event was during this cruise, apparently last year they gave a bunch of spots to put in your GPS to take like a nice coordinated back road route. Maybe they didn't have time for that this year, maybe the roads weren't as good, I'm not sure. The roads that we drove weren't the most amazing roads I've ever driven, but what was fun about it was you'd go and you'd overtake two cars and suddenly you're catching up to, you know, a B6 S4 or another B8.5 S4, and you guys are together and then they overtake and take off on you. And I've never been in a cruise like that where it's not necessarily organized, but everybody's going to the same place. You just end up running into these cool cars the whole time. All right, well, we've arrived to the top of the mountain here, and we're really hungry. We get to Stratton and we pull up to this beautiful scenic overlook, and we just hung out. We went and got some food. We went to a bar later that night that they'd rented out for the event. Overall, just a great time. Another cool thing about the day is we met this guy with a white Allroad. His name is Alex. He said, I don't really have a place to stay tonight. He grabbed food with us. We started talking to him. One thing led to another, and we're offering him to stay with us because it turns out he's a really cool dude and we really like him. All right, day 2. We had 2 matching Allroads. Dan found a friend, and he stayed with us. Look at this beautiful house that we found in the middle of the woods. It's up a dirt road, but it's a good time. Today we're off to Mount Equinox, which I don't know what it is, but supposedly it's cool. So we're gonna go there and we're gonna drive some dirt road. So the second day started like that. We were back at the scenic overlook. We looked out. We went and got some breakfast because all we had eaten was pizza for breakfast. And I actually ended up missing the proper cruise to the event for the day. But I had 4 or 5 of my buddies with me, and we ended up just making our own cruise to the event. It was raining, the weather wasn't that great, and I didn't bring the camera out for it. But we drove up Mount Equinox, which was really cool. It would have been cooler if there were actual views that we could see, but you know, that's That's what rain will do to you. So it was rainy and foggy, and I didn't film much, but just a good time. And then after that, Dan in the All-Road, who you guys know, he runs Humble Supply Company, headed out with our passengers and ended up having lunch somewhere in the middle of Vermont at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We just cruised, we had fun. It was all back roads through Vermont. Honestly, probably the best roads that I drove through the whole trip were the roads driving home. When it was just Dan and me, there wasn't really any traffic on the road. But overall, I think this trip served as a reminder to me that car shows and awards and trophies really aren't what the scene is about. And I preach that, and I know that, but this was a first-hand reminder of how fun it can be just to get a bunch of friends together, go out in a car and drive. You don't necessarily have to do anything crazy. You don't have to go, 3 million miles at 300 miles an hour. And just find some back roads, find a location, and go hang out. Rent an Airbnb for the weekend. I think that's what the car scene is missing, and what a lot of us start to glaze over, given how the car scene is as of recent, is the fact that, we build these cars to drive them. We build these cars to enjoy them. And when we're sitting at a show, it's great to socialize with people. And I'm not knocking shows at all, because I love going to car shows and just sitting around and talking to people. But there's something to be said about getting out, some nice cool fall weather when it's not raining, and just having a good time with your friends that I think Avantoberfest really brought back for me. Next year is their 10th year. It'll happen again in the fall. I would highly recommend checking the event out. There may be a more organized cruise. There may be a lot of things going on. I'm excited. Let me know your thoughts on this video and this style of video. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. Go out there and spread some positivity, and I will sit here in traffic and catch you guys in the next video. Savannah's drawing in the dirt, so I drew my own thing in the dirt. Because we're adults, right?
Big ol' adults.
Ashley, you hungry?
Yeah.
Savannah, you hungry? You drew boobs? I can't put that in I'm gonna have to blur that. I can't put that in my video. But didn't we just say we were adults?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, it's a smile. Oh, now I can put it in my video. Okay.